Give me some more. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Your energy introduces you before you introduce yourself. So give me some more energy in the room right now. Awesome. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Jude, Tranquil. It's always a pleasure to be here with you and to have the opportunity to share our experience and a little bit of things that we have learned over the course of our career in America. Are you guys ready to take some notes? You guys fired up?
Yes!
How many people want to, build a big recruiting team? I'm not saying that just recruit 100 people, but a team that's recruiting 100 people. I don't hear you. Alright, so, you guys know my story. Being in business for over 6 years, being in the country for 7, right? That means I spent 1 year working a job.
Right.
And what a great opportunity for America. I took it out, man, just 1 year, right? So I came and looking for that opportunity, and a good friend of mine, RVP Jennifer, introduced me to the business. And we started, and in the beginning we were not really recruiting. We didn't really understand the concept of recruiting. But once we got that, we got it. Once we got it, we got it. Right? Where do I point again? There was. I'm seeing Gayla. Can I get my slides, please? Where do I point? Alright. So, one of the things that I've seen people struggle with, and I used to struggle with that as well, is to making sure that everything is perfect when it comes to presentation, when it comes to things that we're doing in the business. But over the past few years, this principle has totally changed our business. Just keep it simple. Keep it super, super simple. Always remember that less is more. Now, I used to do a long presentation. What up, 72, power of compound interest, theory of decreasing responsibility, telling a bunch of stories. I'm not saying they're not important. But remember, the person that comes to sit down with you for an interview, they didn't come for a bunch of information. They came for inspiration, to find an opportunity to change their life. So stop overwhelming them with a bunch of information. Just keep it simple. Take the focus off of you and put it on them. Because the moment you try to keep it simple, you're going to see that your business, you will have a business that can be duplicated more easily. Does that make sense? Remember, complexity is the enemy of duplication. Now, here's the thing. They say duplication is the key ingredient to your business success. And this is what I found. It would rather be 70% effective. My presentation would rather be 70% effective, but 100% of the people in our organization can do it. Yep. Instead of being 100% effective, and only you can do it. That's not a job you create for yourself, because every single new recruit, every single team members you have on your team, when they have a presentation, guess who they're going to believe that can do it? You. That's a job that you create for yourself. Now, if my business cannot function without me, I become a prisoner of my business. Would you agree? Yes. And I didn't come here to build a prison around myself. I came here for freedom. But to have freedom, we need to have enough independent leaders that we feel trained, that definitely become independent, that can go ahead and do the same job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Am I talking to somebody?
Yes.
So, instead of focusing on doing the best presentation in the world, think about how duplicatable that my presentation can be. How a brand new person that just come to this business can just do that presentation after seeing it once or twice. Next, be system driven. Let me let that sink in a little bit. Because most people, they have a personality-driven business. Most people, it's only them that can do the presentation that they do. Why? Because it's done based on their own personality. And how many people have your personality on your patient? And that's why a lot of times they are struggling to do the same presentation. Their presentation cannot be as effective. They cannot recruit enough people. Why? Because it's only you. It's personality driven. Be more system driven. Create a framework for everything that keeps repeating. And this is what Nikki and I have been doing on our team. The other night I was talking to some of our teammates. It was like 12 a.m. There was Roosevelt back there. And one of them asked me a question. Coach, how do we call them referrals? I said, great question. And guess what? I just wrote a framework for it. Okay, these are the steps. Step by step, how to call the referrals. These are the top things that you need to say. Create a framework for it. Create a framework for everything that keeps repeating. A framework for how to close. For example, in our team we have how to close and grow rich. We touched the four main scenarios that people are going to meet at the kitchen table for me. First, those people who do not have no life insurance, how to overcome those. What are the questions to ask? Why did the person say, oh, I already have life insurance, but I have it through work? What are the questions to ask in that situation? And they have that framework on the PowerPoint presentation. Anytime the person just say that, they know which page to go. They don't need to memorize it, but they know which page to go. And then they're going to bombard you with those questions. Oh, you say you have life insurance to work? Great. How long do you plan to stay at the job? Do you plan to stay there forever? Do you have the policy or your boss has the policy? Even a brand new person that just comes, since that person has that framework, has that thing written before him, while the person is on the Zoom, he can just pull up that thing and then keep asking those questions. Does he need to be smart to be doing that? No. Create a framework for how to recruit. You do your presentation well. Why don't you have a framework? Okay, now they see the presentation, but do they know why you choose that slide, why you say this in this particular slide? Why don't you have a framework for it? How to get referrals. Create a framework on how to call those referrals. How to overcome objections. Do you have a framework for the main objections, for the most common objections that people, that they usually make? Like, I need to think about it. What do you say? I need to talk to my spouse. If I call some of my teammates right now and they're telling me, hey, I need to talk to my spouse, all of them are going to tell you the same thing. They're going to ask you the same question. They're going to tell you, Joe, I've met with two types of people. Some of them, they are very dependable, right? They are very responsible, and their spouse trusts them. If they want to make a decision, even though their spouse is not there at the moment, but their spouse trusts them, so as long as something that's good for the family, they don't have any problem making a decision on 124, and they can inform their spouse later, right? And the second type of people that I meet, those people, their spouse don't trust them enough, right? So with 124, so if their spouse is not there, so they definitely need their permission. So between those two, do you need your spouse's permission, or you can make a sound, your spouse trusts you enough to make a sound decision in their absence? They're gonna tell you the same thing. And guess what? When you say that to a man, for example, you say, oh, you need his spouse's permission to make a decision on 124. Guess what? Most of them say, oh no, I don't need that. You know what I mean? I can make that decision, right? Right? So we create a framework on those, how to overcome those basic, the most common objections. Create a framework. Be more system-driven. Next, learn how to craft a compelling story. What do I mean by that? If you watch my presentation, and even though every time I get the mic, I always tell my story. Am I right? I always tell you, hey, He's my backstory. He's where I came from. He's when I came in the country. I used to work a job. I was frustrated at the job. He's what I used to do. He's how much money I used to get paid. And then I found for America, and he's where I am right now. And that's a framework for crafting a compelling story. You can learn it, you can teach your new teammates, your new people, how to craft a compelling story. First, it starts with your background. What is it? What is it that you used to do prior to joining Pro America? What is it that you didn't like about your background, what you used to do? What frustrated you? What kept you awake at night? Then how Pro America came to the rescue. What about right now, your results, or where you're going to be? Now, if you might not have results yet, but you can sell on where you're going. You can also use your upline results. Saying this is where you're going. When I didn't have the results yet, I used to create a backstory on Coach Reyes. Man, the guy who's coaching me, he used to work at a sales. He used to work as a sales associate at a retail store, making $17,000 a year. Now, after 10 years right now, that same person is making $500,000 joining this business. Yes. But if he can do it, I believe you and I, we can do the same as well. Don't you believe this? Yes. You see, you don't have to be making a lot of money to crack that story. It might not be on you, but you're using your uplines, you're using your leaders that have success already. So the first element, your background. The second, what you didn't like about what you used to do. Number three, how Pro America came to the rescue. And number four, your results or how you feel about your future. You tell them about where you go. Next, promoting big events. I can't emphasize on this enough. Here's what I learned. Big events, big decisions, they are made of big events. Yep. I made a decision. When I came, I didn't even have legal document yet. RVP Jennifer took me to Tampa Bay Leadership School. I said, this guy's making, I heard Tesla at that time in 48 green. I said, really? I just came in the country. I speak probably better English than Tesla. At that time, that's what I said to myself. I never told him I said that. It's my quotes. Right? And he's making that much money, so if he can do it, I can do it too. I made a decision at that big event. Folks, every big event that we have going on, just imagine you have a publicly traded company that you run. And your stock price equals to the amount of people that you have showing up at that big event. Every one person that shows up is $1 of your stock price. I'm giving you gold. That means if you have only one person, that means the value of your share is $1. How many people will buy your shares? And especially if they don't see growth. So that's how you need to see it. Never stop promoting big events. With Gina, that was number one. She made a decision after she came to a super certainty. She had been in the business for some months, but she was not doing anything much. But after that big event, she took off. We have Jude that's in the back. Last event, man, this guy did whatever he could so he didn't show up. And we did whatever we could so we could bring him to that big event. And he made that decision the night prior to come. And right after that event, last month as a rep, he did 11 recruit personal, and team he did over 22 recruits. Next, make money to inspire your people. I'm a really money motivated guy. And that's why every single day when we have a mindset meeting every morning at 10. Every single morning at 10. And that never goes without talking to our teammates about making money. They need to make money. Because your income is a direct reflection on how many people you are helping. Either with the service or with the opportunity. It's a scorecard of the number of people you're helping. So the question is, are you happy with that level of contribution? Because that reflects the amount of people that you help. And create an us versus them dynamic. How did we do it? We went to Tampa Bay Leadership School. It was not the last one. The one before the last one. And we saw SVP Edward Fernandez. You guys know Edward, right? He took everything from rep all the way up. And we got on a meeting with our team. Man, we were mad. I was pissed off. Everybody was pissed off. We said, we got to come back and take ownership of that meeting. We cannot let Edward taking every single recognition, every single plaque, every single trophy, and we got none, and we here. Why do they have that we don't have? If they can do it, we can do it too. And guess what? The next meeting we came back, the next event, we came back. Yes, we were number one in some. We got some trophies too. Would you agree? Yeah. We got some plaques too, right? What's that? We crossed the stage too at number one. And last but not least, never stop selling them the vision. Never stop selling them of where they are going. And you need to sell yourself too on where you're going. Because sometimes you need to be reminded of where you're going to. Would you agree? Amen. Or William said, we might not make it, but if we do, it's going to be big. You might not, we might not, but now we have all the chance to make it because you have a lot of success stories, the company is solid. It's definitely possible that you can make it. The question is, are you going to make a decision to make it big? Yeah. I made a decision to make it big, not playing small. Because it takes the same energy to think, the same energy it takes to think small, it takes the same energy to think big. I might as well think a little bit bigger. Yeah. Would you agree? Yeah. God bless you folks. I love you guys. Thank you for having me.